Good morning, boys and girls. This week we're going to be reading two stories, a short story and a little longer story. So what I did in our plans is that I did for you to read half of the story the first day and half of the story the next day. Let me show you. Okay, so the story for on Monday, we have The Dust Bowl. And it is, by looking at the title, we really can't tell if it's fiction or nonfiction. But if you know about history, it actually is nonfiction. The first telltale sign is these photographs. By looking at the photographs, you can tell that it's a story from a long time ago. We have a map. We have more photographs down here, and you see dates. So 1935, those are way back. The question for this week is, how should people respond during a disaster? So after you read this is something that happened a long time ago. See how they responded to a disaster. After that, on Tuesday, we have historical fiction. And historical fiction, you see the word fiction. Fiction means that it is made up. But the word historical means it's part of history, something that happened in the past. But they changed up the characters. And a story that I can think that we read that was historical fiction would be stories like, I would say not Sadako, because that was true. Think of a story that we read that was historical fiction. Okay? And I'm thinking all our stories about like the Magic Tree House. Those are stories that have to do with the past, but they're fictionist characters. It means those are characters that didn't exist. They didn't really go back in time, but it does tells us facts about the past. If you look, the next thing is first person point of view. That means it is told by the first person, like I. Over here we have first person point of view. You're going to see pronoun words used like I, we, me, my. The story is told from the point of view of one of the characters. And the example of books that we've read in class, boys and girls, is Sadako. Sadako told the story. The true story of the Three Little Pigs. That's when the wolf was telling his story. And Junie B. Jones. Junie B. Jones tells her stories. So that is first person. Third person is a book that will use pronoun words using he, she, and they. The narrator is not part of the story. And some examples of books that we've read in class are Magic Tree House. Magic Tree House, the narrator was talking about Jack and Nanny and what they did. The Pow Pow Fish and Pete the Cat. Those are some examples of first person and third person. Historical fiction stories will have settings. It will have characters, plot, point of view, and theme. Remember, theme is the message behind the story. What was the purpose of the story? It says the story often contains a theme or message about life. If you look over here, turn the page, we have the story, Noah's Ark. It is a great story. Here are the vocabulary words. Survived, dangerous, petitiously, astonished, and relief. So as you read the story, you're going to come across those vocabulary words and use the clues so you can see what does the word mean in the sentence. And then you know that also it gives you the definition on the side, but try to see what it means first. On your first day of reading the story, which would be on Tuesday, you're only going to read up to 551. That means you're going to read about half of the story because it is a long story. On the side, you can write your notes. But after you read that first section, go ahead and write a summary. On the next day, after you pick up your story, you finish reading the story and then finish writing your summary. What's the story? What happened at the end of the story? So after you finish reading the whole story, take a picture of that summary and then you can send me a message on Dojo showing me that you summarized the story. And then on Thursday, you have this page. Remember, I've been asking for always the developing vocabulary and check for understanding. So you should be sending me this week 2 pictures, one for your summary and one for this. And this, boys and girls, when you're reading the question, make sure that you write in complete sentence. Make sure you write neatly. And almost everyone has been turning in their work. Everyone is doing it neatly. So make sure you continue it, because there are few students that are not. Do not wait till the last minute to do all your work. Do little by little. I sent a calendar. Let me see if I could bring the computer over here. On Dojo, boys and girls, tell your parents to show you Dojo every day. There's a little calendar, and it shows you Monday, this little section. Tuesday, that little section. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Friday, I went ahead and put epic. Listen to a historical fiction online, write a reader's response. So those are, and for spelling, I'm going to do a little quick video on spelling. So make sure you work hard, boys and girls. I have Julie and Alex here also working hard. He's working on 6th grade work, and Julie's working on 4th grade work. So help your parents get your work done, and hope to see you soon.